In this video, we're going to continue along editing each shot. All right, so this one, probably some of the similar things that we did in our last image, which you can see here. So let me take this. I'm actually just going to take this whole folder and bring it over. I'm not sure how much of it we'll use. We're going to go through the sky replacement like we did last time here in Photoshop. But I want to pull this over mostly kind of as reference, just in case I need it. But let's come in. Let's do our sky replacement. And, oh, I forgot to, that's right. I want to take this. It's actually doing it on our heel there. So let me just take all of this, merge it down. So these are the pixels that it's going to look at. So now if we do our sky replacement, it should do a better job of pulling that mask. You can see. Okay, that's good. And so for this one, we're not going to have to worry about down here because of the angle of it. You know, we can just assume that that's the building down there. So mostly just kind of getting rid of some of that. Let's change. I'm just going to adjust things just a little bit so it's not exactly the same. There we go. And obviously we're going to have to fix some of these masks. That's fine. All right, so we have that. We have our new sky. Let's do a select subject so we can get a quick selection of just them that we can pull. So you can see what that does. It kind of, some of this part here. Some of this I might actually want to blend back in. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that because I don't want to edit this mask. This is our subject mask. Oh, I didn't spell that correctly. Subject mask. So we can save that. Okay. Remove on the car, obviously. So let's add a mask here. We're going to be removing on the car. Can let it blend. It's a car. That's okay. It's going to blend into the background just a little bit. There we go. All of this over here, obviously, we're going to remove. Actually, before we do that, let's turn. Okay, so there's really nothing over here. It's just kind of blank. But you can see if very closely, you can see maybe it's kind of tough, but right around here is where the edge. So this is, you know, the cement here, and then it goes, kind of goes back. So we're going to go for that. And similar to what we did with the building in the last one where we kind of alluded to that, we're just going to go right up to the wire. And it's not going to be completely even because it's not going to be necessarily even with the wire depending on our angle. And that's fine. We want to purposely do that actually. Otherwise, it'll just look like a shadow on the wire, and that's not what we want. There we go. There we go, something like that. We can, so what do we do on this? We had, make this a little bit bigger, just easier to see. On our replacement group, we added curves. So let's pull that down. And we added more curves that look like, oh, they're brightened. So these are the ones that brighten. Let's try those. If we pull those over, oops, I don't want the whole thing. I just want the curves. Let's brighten just a little bit. I don't want anything on here. There we go. Get rid of all that. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. I wanted to go the other way. I did want to hide that. So let me switch my flow, 100%, turn these off. And that way we're just going to get rid of that because there was a little bit of sky there. Okay. So it's okay. Okay, one thing I want to do here beyond this, I think we're pretty good. This one's going to be a lot easier than the last one because there's not as much of it. But I do want to take this whole sky here, Control E to flatten. And then let's actually even take this and we'll merge those together. So this is sky without a mask. And then I'm going to take our blur that we've done before and apply that. And then do we want to, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go with something like this. And let's select our wires like that. So we can mask those out. Go the other way. There we go. Something like that. So we just add a little bit of blue back there. It just adds, it's not, we don't obviously want it to be super distracting or anything like that, but just a little bit there. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the way that is. We've got that, so that's the over. Oh, it's because we have our curves here, that's why. And we want, that's okay, we have that overriding it anyway. For his hair, you might want to, sometimes it's easier just to paint it back because there's, oops, I don't want 100%. Low flow, and just start to paint some of this back. Just up, really just to kind of cover up some of that. You can see how, because it was so blown out in the background, the some of the hair that and the hair strands are just so thin, you're just not going to see them, and that's fine. So I'm not really creating new hair anywhere. I'll get rid of this. Let me switch to my eraser tool just real quickly, get rid of that. So it's not like I'm creating new strands off this. I'm just reinforcing the ones that were there because the camera didn't pick them up. Anything on her? Maybe a little bit, not too much. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes in some pictures, you're going to want to remove flyaways, and in some pictures, you want to, I guess, add them back in, right? Just for that. I am going to take all of this. Let's merge all of this together into its own layer. And then let's see if we can do just a little bit of cleanup inside of Luminar on this, just to see how that looks. So we will pull that in. There we go. Give Luminar a moment to open. So Luminar, oops, it opened up on another screen. Let's pull this over so we can see. All right, so here is where I'm going to kind of focus more on them just a little bit. And I like, since this one is more focused on their face a little bit, let's see if we can do just a little bit more touch up. So you can see just super subtle, just brightening them up just a little bit. I'm not going to do any manipulation. Don't want to do that. That's just slightly enhance, and it's just a faster way. And then on the skin, let's see if we were to do just a little bit of cleanup. So it is super subtle, as you can see. I don't want to do too much. That's, I don't like the plasticky look. I want it to be more realistic. So that's where, you can go in there and you can clean everything up. I'm probably going to clean up her teeth there just a little bit. It's just a little bit of, I'm not sure if that's something from one of our edits, or if that was something on her teeth, but yeah, so you can go in there and clean all that kind of stuff up, but I'm not going to do that. Let me actually shift its yellows so you can see what that's affecting. There we go. Something like that. Now, if we remove that and then switch back to our brush, we can just paint that in. There we go. See? A little bit on his, so just before, after, just a super, super subtle edit there. I think we're good. I think we're pretty good. Okay. All right. So we have that. This probably, I don't know if this will let me save it as a TIFF file, but I'll go ahead and try to do that. Like this one here, it was too large. So if I'm not able to save that as a TIFF file, then I will save it as a PSB file, and that's what you'll find in the project files. But we'll go ahead and save this and then end this video, and I'll see you in the next one when we're working on the next shot.